Do you know what that means? That means he's not just after the kid anymore. He's after all of us.
I've never wanted to have a breakfast sandwich so bad after seeing that
That's
scene.
all I wanted from this movie. But people go out and get an egg sandwich.
Just to be able to take that simple concept and build on that. How much fun was that?
Her priorities are totally different to everyone else's. What she deems truly important in life is not what anyone else would deem important in life. And that egg sandwich is the pinnacle for her.
How satisfying is that, being a director, when you see your cast is so committed?
It was a dream cast. They're all such good actors, and so that was what we were really looking for. People that can just really embrace these characters and bring like multiple layers to it, and people who are also like excited to play maybe sometimes against type, the way that like both you and Chris.
Yeah. Chris, your performance, I did not expect that from you ever, because I've never seen you be so bad.
This is Psycho in real life, really. You're just seeing his true colors now.
You know, the script was awesome. I've had a career of really nice guys and kind of straight guys, and I come from the New York theater where I used to play all these delinquents, so this, for me, really was a return back to my roots.
I've been a Rosie Perez fan ever since I saw her in Do the Right Thing.
Me too.
So what was it like to work with her?
Oh, she's awesome, and she's such a spitball, you know? Yeah. It was really cool for her as a person, as Rosie Perez, to get to do this with this whole group of women, and to have this experience, and to learn how to box, and you know, and be so physically like part of it. And it was so clear that she's still the same Rosie Perez, you know, she's still that like badass dancer that can do it all.
I'm a big fan of t-shirts. But
I see.
Rosie's t-shirt in the movie is by far one of the best t-shirts that I've ever seen. Whose idea was that?
I don't know whose idea it was, but when they presented that to me on day one, they go, "Do you mind?" I went, "No." And I thought it was very smart in the scene, because it's a scene where she's right. And the two men, one who has taken her, what she was passed over for, her position, and the other one, her partner, who's an idiot. You know, she's telling them, "No, listen to me," and they're not. And then with that T-shirt, I just thought it was just brilliant.
There's this cover of a Pat Benatar song. I mean, who did that, and how did that come about?
That was like an element of the soundtrack and the music in the movie that we had been playing with a lot, right? So that we have a Flip on Diamonds, we have our own version of Man's World, and and so with the Pat Benatar song, it was the same thing when we were like, could we take an old classic and kind of rejigger it, modernize it, and it seemed to make a lot of sense.
The finished product is so satisfying.
It did feel a little impossible on day one of stunt training.
Usually when they would show us, like, you know, the stunt performers would get together and show us, like, here's what you're gonna do.
You're gonna learn this.
Be like, well, no.
Right.
Just not gonna happen. And then somehow, slowly, they would get us to the level where we'd be able to do it.
In terms of the preparation, I mean, how much work goes into that?
Movies are so incredibly practical. In fact, it's, you know, when you see an explosion on screen, it's actually an explosion. When you see like a gunshot, it's an actual gun with just like a blunted bullet. It's all incredibly practical, and a lot of filmmakers, and especially Cathy, want it to be practical, because it's never quite the same when you fake it.
If I was a teenage girl and I saw this, it would leave a huge impact. Did you guys know that going in?
Can I say that I think that is not only going to be empowering for teenage girls, it's going to be empowering for 20-year-old women, 30, 40, 50-year-old women, and also men. Because part of this new movement where the spotlight is finally on all the efforts that women have been doing from day one in the film industry, I think that men are gonna jump on the train and say, yeah, 100%. Let's rock and roll.
And to me, it wasn't even about the cast being off, you know, it wasn't about female cast, female superhero team. It was just a good movie.
And the men weren't too shabby either.
No,
I mean, they killed it.
Ewan McGregor, Chris Messina, I mean, come on.